Unraveling the demonization of capitalism. A call to revisit founding principles. In the contemporary discourse surrounding capitalism, the term neoliberalism has become a catch-all phrase, often wielded as a rhetorical weapon to denounce a system that has been an integral part of the American experiment. However, a nuanced examination reveals that this demonization is frequently a result of conflating neoliberalism with classic liberalism. The failures attributed to this amalgamated concept can be traced back not to the principles of true classical liberalism, but rather to the abandonment of three key tenets prescribed against by the Founding Fathers: fiat currency, military adventurism, and the redistribution of wealth. One of the foundational principles of the United States, as envisioned by the Founding Fathers, was a monetary system based on tangible value, precious metals like gold and silver. The introduction of fiat currency, detached from any intrinsic value, represents a departure from these principles. The printing of money without the backing of tangible assets undermines the very essence of sound fiscal policy and, over time, erodes the foundation upon which economic stability rests. The founders, well versed in the perils of hyperinflation and economic instability, sought to prevent such circumstances by advocating for a currency firmly anchored in material worth. The abandonment of this principle in favor of fiat currency has fueled economic distortions and exacerbated the challenges associated with wealth disparity. The interventionist foreign policy that characterizes the present era stands in stark contrast to the warnings articulated by the Founding Fathers. They cautioned against entangling alliances and advocated for a stance of non-interventionism, rooted in the belief that the nation's resources should be dedicated to its own prosperity rather than expended in distant conflicts. The departure from this counsel has led to protracted military engagements with far-reaching consequences, both in human lives and fiscal resources. The founders' vision of a republic that prioritizes the well-being of its citizens over global military adventurism has been compromised, contributing to the perception of a system at odds with its original ideals. The notion of wealth redistribution, as manifested in various social and economic policies, challenges the constitutional tenet of equal protection under the law. The Founding Fathers crafted a framework that championed individual liberties and property rights, aiming to prevent the concentration of power in the hands of a few. Policies that seek to forcibly redistribute wealth risk undermining the very essence of equal protection, as they often favor certain groups or individuals over others, creating disparities that run counter to the principles embedded in the Constitution. Amidst these deviations from founding principles, the constitutional tenet of equal protection under the law emerges as paramount. The Founding Fathers sought to establish a system where every citizen, regardless of background or status, would be treated impartially by the legal apparatus. The erosion of this principle through economic policies that disproportionately favor certain groups undermines the very fabric of the constitutional order. As the demonization of capitalism ensues, it is imperative to recognize that the failures attributed to the system are often rooted in the abandonment of these crucial tenets, rather than inherent flaws within the capitalist framework itself. Returning to the constitutional bedrock of equal protection under the law, reinstating fiscal responsibility, and adopting a judicious foreign policy would serve as a corrective course, aligning the nation with the vision set forth by the Founding Fathers and dispelling the spectre of a system perceived as flawed.